parents to the next generation, and these genes help in carrying down the constitution of the human being in totality from one generation to another. So the necessity of family life or a construction of a good family and a healthy family helps in purification of the genes. We will slowly in further classes will explain the structural functionality of the genes, what are chromosomes. You can have a brief study in your Google or internet. Because everybody is now familiar with internet, you can have brief study up there. There are many visual videos and studies regarding the genetics. So I will generally brief out the research topics that are defined through our research scholars so that they help you to have a right understanding so that you can have your deep study at your leisure time. So these genes are carried down from one generation to another, and the probability of carrying down the genes differs from one family to another, from one individual to another, depending upon his strength of the constitution and his individual innate immune system and his own. There are many number of factors that define the distribution of the genes. And there are many studies and researchers regarding the biostatistics and bioprobabilities of distribution of the genes. But what does the gene carry? The gene carry the instincts or behavioral aspects, our inner nature, our food habits, taste, climatic conditions, mental traits, physical appearance of the body, diseases, mainly the congenital diseases, and the shape of the physical structure, hair, texture, eyes, quality of life, and his response to the environment, and his fears, especially mental traits includes fears, aversions, phobias, and complexes, and intellectual traits also are carried down as a taste towards a subject, a skill. You see, many people are prodigies at very young age. They are born in music families or in scientific families and business families. You see children of a very young age doing very well in their profession, like music or business or studies. They are attracted to their own work or skill, and they perform at a very high rate than other kids. Because if both parents are doctors, if the whole family is of doctors, the child unknowingly attracts to the medicine, and he can read the medicine very easily. Why that happens is the gene in him or the genes in him initiate him to study. Basing on this, in our Indian ancient system, they are classified as castes, creeds, sects, and religions. Different social classifications are made. And the father's profession was carried down by the child, and child profession was carried down by the grandchild. So that the one family is to master a skill, master a profession in his family. So it is by this process probably a casteism and the division of sects were made. But now they are not. The present humanity is advancing so fast. So they are able to learn very well. They are able to adapt very well. And why this happens is there is a subject of brief study which we need to understand, that astrogenetics, astrobiology, there are many new subjects of learning, and these subjects also help to have a study of the human evolution, out of which The subject we deal is family genetics and occult genetics. A constructive family or a good family or a planned family will have a child and both parents will decide a profession. If they are mastering a profession, if all the family members in a family are educated, literated, are enlightened, the child born in that family will also be enlightened, and because a man is a social animal, and the psychology of the child will also be in the same field. If one of the family members is not educated, or one other member is educated, there are instances of both physical and mental traits. So there are many examples. Much of the research was going down in plants. Now we have many hybridized plants. Now you see, in previously before, there are only plants grown in particular area in particular country, and the particular people are eating only particular type of food in that area. But now with the help of the invention of genetics, many new plants are hybridized and are born. They are capable to grow anywhere. And every people in every part of the world can eat any type of food because the plant is able to adapt anywhere. So now the children are being born like it because the time is advancing and age is advancing. So the human gene is also evolving from time to time. If you compare the children are born in this generation than to the children in 1960s or 1970s, the behavioral aspects of children you see a much difference in them. They are more creative, intelligent, adaptive, fast. How this happens? Here comes the evolution of the human being, of the humanity at large, has an influence upon each individual because humanity itself means accumulation of beings. If there is a disturbance in a lake, every water drop in the lake experiences the disturbance. So also the humanity at large is advancing. So the evolution of the humanity also influences every human being. The people born at different scales of time are adaptive with that evolution. For example, a human being born at a recent age or recent years, after having a great discoveries of great scientific advancement, the child will have in him instantly that scientific advancement in him. He maybe cannot express properly, but he will be equipped with the technological aspects. Now you see many people are playing gadgets or music at very young age. Previously it was a research, but now it's a play toy for them. So at every point of evolution, when a child is born, the summary of the evolution that happens until the child is born, the summary of the evolution was in him as a seed. Means every time when a child is born, he is the seed and the summary of the totality of the evolution that has occurred onto the earth. A boy born in 2018, January 1st, and a boy born in 2018, February 1st is different. A January 1st child will have a summation of evolutionary history until the January 1st, but a child born in February 1st will have more evaluated because he will have the summary of incidents that occur in the globe until his time of birth. Even though we cannot explain or prove, but in the child you can see the instance in him, the thoughts or the nature. So the family genetics is such a subject where we train the different families and different children and with respect to different branches of study. So this is a brief expansion, and occult genetics is a subject where we tell how the parents should behave, how the parents should have idea of their child, how the parent should try to conceive a child. And parenting is one of the most important techniques. Today we are spending more time in buying gadgets, in securing things, in buying clothes, in securing houses, assets. We spend more time in discussing about it. But we never think about a child who is to born to us, and we will not have an idea of which child we want. A child may be I'm sorry to say like this, a child is more is a byproduct of sex or an output of an emotion, but than a conceived idea of having a child. We don't think that we want a child like this, and we don't at least will or imagine or have an idea or research how to conceive a healthy child. So the ancients in all civilizations have this type of study, how to conceive a child, parenting, through different factors like social living and music and astrology and other subjects of learning, which train the parents to very much extent to prepare themselves to have a clear-cut understanding of the child and their health. In the present stage, the life is fast, the society is fast, we are advancing very fast, we don't have time. So, but we have technology with us. So let us spare some time to know from where we are coming, where we are going, and where are we, and why are we doing the things. We do the things as today I may lecture by being a person, or I may do a research, seeing my friend is doing a big research than me, so I also want to do research, but I don't think which research I want to do. Because now his life is a comparison and a competition than a personal intention and a research. So let us stop for a while, think really what do we want and where we are going. Why I am saying like this? Because what we think is what we become. If you want something, you will become that. Man is not born as a scientist, he is not born as an engineer, he is not born as a biologist, he is not born as a musician. He is made. And there are many factors which influence the man through his birth. First, the mother. When the child is in the mother womb, the thoughts of the mother, the food, the quality, the environment the mother experiences, all do influence the child very much extent. So now we are, through our society and through our publications and through our trust, we are providing many books. Not only our society, much research has already been made. Now we are also doing a research with respect to different branches of study. How a mother has to behave, how a mother has to eat, how a mother has to live to have a healthy child. They have prenatal music series, studies, and other courses of behavior through which we train the pregnant mothers. We have some homeopathy and Ayurvedic traditions of training and medicating the mothers so that they may be having children not having congenital diseases. Although it's not completely possible to eradicate congenital diseases, because that's what we have discussed before. The genes will always act. We cannot rightly predict the line of evolving of the genes. So, and we have the second factor that influences the child is the environment. The environment in which he is born. Third, through which his psychology was made. The psychology of the parent, the psychology of the family, the environment, the psychic thinking of the parents, the emotional factors, intellectual factors with which the parent or the student or the other friends or the teachers grew him up also influences him to very much extent. The third factor is the psychology of the groups. The fourth factor is the community living. or the social behavior in which society dwells. The fourth is medication. Medicines, now we all know, medicines are of different types. Some act on surface and some act on very deep internal systems. There are many different medication. The type of medication the parents or the child takes at his early age do influences his psychic factors. If some deep medicines like steroids or deep homeopathic medicines or Ayurvedic medicines, any type of medication of deep acting was given to a child at early age, it influences him in his future life. Fourthly, the study of astrology. The astrology is such a study. What we see, the study of astrology in outer life is a part of the great branch of it. So it's a great tree, and branch of it is what we are studying and seeing in our regular life. The astrology is such a deep subject. It tells about the human races and families that will come up in future times, and it also tells which type of diseases. There are astrostatistics, astrogenetics. There are many branches relating astrology and biology, which correlates man and predicts his behavioral aspects. So the time in which he is born and the families and the timing in which the child is born, the ages, his period of childhood, his environment in all his life, it also will help him to very much extent. And the third is nutrition and food. The food he takes, the type of food he takes, in which place he takes his food, the likes and dislikes towards the food also influences him. And then we come to the studies like music and other extra activities that may influence him. There are many branches which makes a man study. So we give a few studies of research to our society like genetics, psychology, environmental and social living, yoga, medication, and prenatal sessions, and Ayurvedic understanding, astrological practices in daily life, and homeopathic remedies. These are few subjects which we would like to provide through our society. Even every type of medication or every type system of medicine like Ayurveda, homeopathy, or any modern medicine or scientific medicine, it gives the man how he has to behave in his regular life. It tells how he has to control his physical tissues, how he has to do exercise, how he has to behave in the outer world so that he controls his emotions and regulates his pulses and makes him healthy in all aspects and not to get into diseased state. So this is an attempt by our Guru. There are many group of doctors, research scientists, musicians. There are many group of people behind it who are working with me, who are working through our organization and producing literature and classes. So this is a brief introduction of our classes. We thank our government for helping us and for giving us an opportunity to reach to the public. Thank you for sparing your time.